What's up, Lumineers? My name's Lorcana and welcome to the Underworld. I'll be your ferryman and your guide to all Lorcana related content. And today we're going to be talking about Sealed. More specifically, Set 9 Fabled Sealed and how you will go about creating your deck when you played it. For a little bit of background, I'm from Hong Kong. And right now in Hong Kong, we're playing a lot of Sealed because there's a lot of big tournaments going on where we have this tournament where if you win, you get a sponsorship to go to Singapore in the DLC for free. So everybody's playing Sealed. So I'm only talking based on my experiences of playing in these events, how I would draft my deck, my experiences with using certain cards. So don't take this as like 100% this is what you must do. So yeah, take everything with a little bit of take it with a grain of salt, you know? Yeah. So without further ado, let's begin. So we are gonna start with all the amber cards here. Let's look. First card on the list is gonna be the Queen. This one is a 3 ink 2/4. I know you can't really see it that well, but this is gonna be a 3 ink 2/4. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more here. It's gonna be a Storyborn Villain Queen Sorcerer with the ability of support. And at the start of your turn, you could discard a princess or a queen character to grab any character, not a princess or queen character, any character, back into your hand. I'm gonna put this at a very, very solid S tier. Mainly because in Set 9 Fabled so far right now, you have a lot of characters where they have a lot of willpower, but maybe not a lot of strength. And anything that has support creates such a big threat on the board. More specifically, if you're able to get any of these 1 cost down where they are 1/3, or even just like a 2 cost with a 1/4, any Annas or Rapunzels, having a support on the board gives you access to be able to kill banish any characters that have 3 willpower. And it makes it like a very big threat to where your opponent's not gonna wanna sit. It's not like an auto pick, or like we'll say this is like an S tier, because it's still just like a support character. It doesn't do that much by itself, right? But it's a very, very, very solid tool. So you're gonna basically, there's gonna be a pattern here where you're gonna see almost every character with support be in S tier. So next up, we have Pongo. Pongo is a 3 ink, uninkable card, 3/2. And his effect reads, once during your turn, you can pay 2 ink to look at the top of your deck, and if it's a character, you can reveal it and then add it to your hand. So this is kind of like a Daisy Duck, like a reverse Daisy Duck that you have to pay 2 ink for. I'm gonna put this at a solid, I'm actually gonna say it's a B tier. I used to think it was an A tier, but considering that it's only a 3/2, it could get fired the cannon on, it could get smashed on, even just like a 2 strength raging fire, or just a deflection from Giant Tinkerbell, it's gonna kill it really easily. But when you are top decking and you see this card, you're very, very happy to see it. Even then, having it be uninkable is kind of dangerous, especially when you're thinking you're only using a 40 card deck. Stitch Rockstar. I'm not gonna go through all the stats individually. So Stitch Rockstar is a very interesting card. Very, very interesting. I haven't played a whole lot of Stitch Rockstar, but he is going to be a 3/5. You could shift him if you want. He has a 6 cost. And whenever you play a character with cost 2 or less, you can exert them to play a card. This is very, very interesting. It's interesting in the sense of like, if you're able to get it out early while you still have a lot of 1 cost and 2 costs in your deck, it's very good, right? You can get a lot of draw off. However, it's dangerous in that in this format right now with giant Mulans, like the big Mulan and the Tinkerbell that we talked about previously, it's really dangerous to leave things just exerted, right? So if you put out a 1 or 2 cost, you can pretty much expect that as soon as you exert them to draw a card, you can expect them to go away, immediately get banished. However, in the other side, it is draw power, and it is also 3 lore. So I'm gonna put this at like a B tier. I put it behind Pongo. Pongo is more solid as a draw engine. Okay, next up we have Beast. Beast is a 5/4 that gives all your princess characters plus 1 strength and 1 willpower. This is an S tier. This card is so good. There is so many princesses like anything in this set that can bump your willpower and your strength, just even without your opponent being able to like read into it, is so strong. I would still put this at an S instead of an auto pick because your deck might not have pulled a lot of princesses. In which case it's just a 5/4, and then, you know, like in that case, just go with Winnie the Pooh or any of the 5/5/5s. Those would be better. But that secondary effect, if you can use it in the deck where you have a lot of princesses, is so incredibly strong. Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse is also a solid S tier. Minnie Mouse is a 2/4. She gives any Mickey Mouse's support, and when she quests, she can banish a character that's an exerted character with 5 strength or more, and she quests for 2. This card is so strong because of, there's multiple reasons, right? So there's another Amber card called the World's Greatest Criminal Mind, which does almost the same thing, except you could do it to cards that aren't exerted, right? But Minnie Mouse can quest for 2, and she is a huge pressure on board. Once you put this down, once your opponent starts slamming down 5-cost, 6-cost beasts, or card soldiers, or Winnie the Poohs, or maybe even your Herculeses, they are not going to want to exert it at all, because Minnie Mouse is just going to be able to get 2 points and banish a high value target for free. And if you combo this off with any of these support characters, you basically just have an instant banish of choice, because you're able to support your opponent's characters and then just banish them, which makes this incredibly strong. Just having a Minnie Mouse on board makes your opponent just have to stand still. They can't do anything. Aurora is an auto pick. Aurora is there. She is a 1 ink 1/2, and when you quest with her, you're able to play the next queen or princess character for 1 less. Anything in this set so far, from my experience, and especially with the sheer amount of princesses in this deck, this card is so strong. It lets you, anything that lets you cheat out ink cost is so incredibly powerful in this set. Also, with the fact that she is a 1/2 still, so she's not like a 1/1, right? So she still has a little bit of defense. But if you're able to get a 3-cost out on 2, and then another 3-cost out on 3, assuming that Aurora gets banished turn 2, your tempo swing is going to be huge. Okay, so we have, next we have the 1/2/2 queen. It's a C tier. For me, my personal playstyle, I like to use a lot more willpower than I do like this 2/2 stat line. I think a 1/3 is more powerful than a 2/2 stat line. Mainly because you have cards like Improvise, you have cards like Hidden Cove, or even Beast. Pumping up 1 more strength and 1 more willpower and having them be able to trade and not be banished is really strong in this set. I think all of the you're going to see a general pattern with a lot of the 1-cost 2/2s. I'm going to place them around C to D tier. Rapunzel, 1/4 Rapunzel. I'll put this card maybe at like a C tier. I think she gets like a very solid C tier. She's a 2 ink 1/4. So it's very, very good stat line. And she can exert to remove up to 2 damage. That second effect, I think if you're able to combo it off with Mulan, the 1-cost Mulan, the 2/3 that comes in with 2 damage, I think this is a really strong combo. But it's really situational, right? You're not always going to be able to use her effect. And other than that, she's just a 1/4. She can't quest for a lot. She's just kind of very middle of the pack, you know? Like, if you don't have as much other 2-costs, then maybe just drop her in. But there are better cards. Stitch, 2/3. It's a very solid stat line card. I'll put him at the head of C tier. Once again, I think if you're going to be using your 2 mana, your 2 ink slot, you should have some sort of effects. However, you know, 2/3 stat line is not too bad, but there's definitely better options. You could think about shifting into Big Stick Rockstar, but it's not something I would count on. You should definitely be playing on tempo. As I previously mentioned, most support characters are going to get an S tier for me, and that's no different with Mulan. In fact, she's going to be above Queen. The one big reason I have her above Queen is because she is 2 lore. So I find from my experience, because in this set, there's not a lot that can mess with your opponent's board. It's safe to say that you're going to see a lot of sealed games where everybody just has their boards full, and it's just kind of a race to see who can hit 20 lore and then raise, and then all just quest in one turn. So having something on the board with 2 lore is a huge threat. More than that, she also has support, and she's a princess, so she can be brought out by Aurora on turn 2. Daisy Duck. So there's actually 2 versions of Daisy Duck. One is this version here, where when you play her, your opponent discards a card. The other version is whenever it quests, your opponent discards a card. I have to put this card as C tier. It's just kind of really bad tempo. You know, you're wasting your turn, placing a 2/3 out, and what you're getting out of it is discarding a card. And she's only a 1 lore. She's actually, I'm gonna put her in D tier. She's not very good. Next up we have Tinkerbell. It's an uninkable card. 4 ink, uninkable, 1/4. Have her A tier. So the way that I see Tinkerbell, she is a Be Our Guest and a 1/4 and 1. So 4 mana, 4 ink, very fair. You're able to look at the top 4 cards of your deck and then get a character out of it. I think this is a very strong card. Almost any card where you're guaranteed a card draw, almost guaranteed a card draw, is really, really strong in this format where there is not a lot of draw. Mickey Mouse, 3/3. He's a very solid B tier. He's a vanilla 3/3. Stat line checks out. He is also 2 lore, which is also very solid. My one qualm with this, why I would put him under Mulan, he doesn't have support. And also in the 3 slot, you're often fighting for tempo. A 3/3 is able to be taken out by a 3/2. That's a 2 cost. It's not a very even trade, right? In fact, you know, I'm putting him at the bottom of B. Even though he's 2 quest, he's not going to be better than like a 3/4, right? You want to keep tempo. Pluto, A tier. This card is ridiculous. If you're able to get this card out, it's a 3/8, and it basically heals itself at the end of every turn. I can't zoom into this right now. But at the end of your turn, this character will heal itself. Or is it at the start of turn? Pluto. Sorry, let me just look at this real quick. So this is a 7 cost. Shift 5. You can shift it on top of a Pluto, which is not something you're going to do often, but if you do, hey, all the power to you, especially if you can shift it onto a 1 cost. So it's a 7 cost, shift 5, it's a bodyguard, and at the start of your turn, it heals for 3 mana, or 3 willpower. This card is ridiculous. It is so hard to get rid of. And when you place it, you're just going to quest it for 2 every turn while protecting the rest of your stuff. Your opponent's going to have to throw a lot of resources to get rid of this. This is a very, very strong card. Ariel Singer 7. She's 4. She's like a D tier. Okay, so Singer 7. Assuming that you have a lot of high cost songs, she's still a D tier. She is just so ridiculously badly statted. She is a 4 cost for a 3/3. For reference, some other 4 cost 3/3 cards that you can have that are much better than her in that slot are things like Elsa. It's a 3/4 with Challenger 3. So she's like a 6/4, right? Or even something like Donald Duck. The spot that she's fighting just to be a 3/3 and a Singer 7 that you might not even be able to use because it's not very wise to draft a lot of huge songs, right? At most, maybe you're going to be drafting, or you're going to be playing songs with an average cost of like 4, right? So it's just really bad value for what it is. Another Pluto, A tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put him under the big Pluto. Actually, you know, I'll put him above the big Pluto. This card is really strong. 5 ink, 4/5, good stat line. 2 quests, also good stat line. And when you put it down, it heals. Also, when you get to 5 ink, you've already done some trading. You have some high statted cards on the board. And now you're able to just make trades, you're doing your thing. It's really strong. You're able to put it down, your opponent's not gonna expect it, randomly just gets healed by 3. Really strong card, nothing else to say. Nani, A tier. Nani is also really strong. She's also statted very well. 3-6, hard to take care of. Also 2 quests. Julieta Magrigal. You know, I'll put her S tier. I'm not gonna say she's an auto pick because she's still a 1-4. However, she's able to heal and draw a card. That's crazy. She's bootleg Temu Rapunzel. However, she does the job very, very well. And you're often able to get that 1 card draw. And if your opponent's just standing still, not letting you draw, just ink it. It's a 3 ink. However, it replaces itself. And like I said, draw is really strong. Cinderella. I put her at a situational. So Cinderella is a 2-5 and she's Singer 5, once again with the Singer tag. Except she's also able to exert herself to remove up to 3 damage, but specifically only to princess characters. So why I put her situational instead of D tier or C tier, or unplayable, is mainly because in a deck that you draft, if you're able to draft a lot of cards where you're able to increase strength very easily for your character with a lot of support, or maybe hitting cove or improvise or any of the above things, all of a sudden this 2-5 is an insane stat line. On top of that, she can actually just heal herself, and she quests for 2 with 5 willpower, which is really solid. So I would say situational only if you're able to actually utilize this high willpower with some other cards within your draft. 1-6 Moana. I'm not gonna say she's unplayable. She's just not very good. So Moana is a 1-6. She's a 5 cost, which, like I said, you're going against cards that are like Winnie the Pooh, which is a 5-5 stat line. That's total cost of 10 with 2 ink. That's our 2 quests. That's a lot better. And she's able to ready your other characters, and they can't quest. However, it's limited to princesses. Even at a situation, I wouldn't say she's very good. I think this is just very weak stat lining where you really want to have tempo instead when you get to the 5 ink. Small Pluto, bottom of A. He's a 0-2 and you're able to exert him to play 1 less for the next character. It's like a more flexible version of Aurora. My only qualms with this card is it's uninkable, which when you pick it up late game, it feels very, very bad to pick it up. Also, it's a 0-2, so even if your opponent trades into it, they trade into it for free. So it's basically just like a 1 ink, reduce the cost of the next card you play by 1. It's not bad. It's not bad at all in that means. However, it's not reliable enough where it's an auto pick or an S tier. So I'll put it at like a bottom of A tier. Seems good. Ursula, Singer 1-4. This is another situational card. And the situation is very simple. You have a lot of songs. You have a lot of like 3 cost songs. Maybe songs like 3-4 costs like Heal What's Been Hurt, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, Raging Fire, Mother Knows Best. A lot of these costs, 3 cost songs, you could consider drafting it, or even Mob Song. You consider drafting it. It's very, very situational too, whether you really do have that many songs to be playing. Queen of Hearts, the 3-3. She's very badly statted. She's horribly statted, actually. She's a 3-3, and I believe she costs 4. Let me double check this right now. She has the effect that when she quests, she has 3 costs. 3 costs, 3-3. Quest for 1. She has the effect that when she quests, all of your other villain characters are gonna be able to quest for 1 more. She's not very good. She's just not very good. I mean, there's like maybe niche situations where I'm gonna put her at D actually, where like you're gonna be able to maybe steal 1 or 2 more lore and that wins you the game, but it's not gonna happen very often. She's just very badly statted. She quests once, she's gonna go away. She doesn't really add much to the board, and she doesn't quest for much on her own. You would need to have at least 2 more characters quest with her to have her be worth it. Stitch Walkstar. Yeah, it's just straight unplayable. awful stat. 8 cost 4/8, quest for 2. If you have 2 other characters, you draw 2. It's very rare that you'll even get to 8 ink. Very rare. You should usually hover around 5 to 6 ink, and you're able to play mostly everything on your board. If you're going to 8 ink, you're drafting too many high cost things that might not even pay off, right? That's just straight unplayable. And if you're playing something for 8 ink, you would want it to pay off. Drawing 2 cards it's not a big enough payoff. At a 4/8 cost, that's not going to do much. Look at this family. Where do I put this card? So look at this family. It's just like a Be Our Guest on crack. It's at a very awkward spot where you're not able to get it out very consistently because it's a high cost. However, you are able to sing together. It is a 7 cost. So if you pair it with something like Ursula and then like a 3 cost Mickey or something, you're able to play it out. But the question is, would you use your turn 4 and have potentially both of these characters be banished to get 2 more characters? Depends on your draft, I would say. But definitely unplayable if you don't have a singer. So, I'll put it as situational. Very situational. Circle Life, unplayable. I'm not gonna hear it. It's unplayable. It's so unplayable in sealed. 1, when are you going to actually have high value targets in your discard where it will be worth have 2 characters or 3 characters or 4 characters to sing together and get them back out? It's very, very rare. And if you do get it out, you might as well have drafted another high cost card to do it, right? Or high tempo, high static card. It's just not worth the payoff. Heal what has been hurt. I'll put this as a solid B tier. It's a very safe card. Yeah, I'll put it above Pluto. You heal 3, you draw a card. Nothing much to say. You get your draw, you get your healing. Pretty strong. If not, just ink it. It's not bad. Lost in the Woods. Maybe bottom of C tier. It keeps your character safe for 1 turn. You're able to trade very well, but it's a 4 cost. It's really expensive. Bruno's Return. This is not inherently a bad card. This by itself, I'll put it at like top of maybe D tier. Let's put it at the end of C tier. So it heals 2, and you're able to return a character from your discard to your hand. This is a really solid effect. The worst part of this card, this very, very bad part of this card is it's uninkable. This is a card that you want to see later in the game, when you actually have stuff in your discard that you would want to get back. If you get it early, it feels bad, you can't ink it. If you get it late, it's pretty good. It's not gonna win you the game, but it's pretty good. C tier. World's Greatest Criminal Line, auto pick. This card is absurd. Everybody's gonna play really high static cards like Beast, Winnie the Pooh, Card Soldier. I've talked about these cards multiple times. This card's just gonna get rid of it. Just so strong. It's just such a strong card. And if you combo it with support cards, you're able to just banish anything. Really strong card. Be Our Guest, auto pick. 2 cost singing to be able to get 1 more card, or even if you just play it to be able to search for another card. Really strong card. Really, really strong. Makes your deck a lot more consistent. Lantern. So admittingly, I don't think I played in a single event where I've actually pulled Lantern. However, I have seen a lot of people use this card. And admittingly, if you use it at least 2 times, it pays for itself. If you use it more, you're getting way more in value. This card is very strong to have it stay. It's not like an S tier, but I'll put it at the top of B. It's a strong card. It is strong. But put it around here. I think that's fair. Ursula's Shell Necklace. We're not even gonna talk about this card. It's just unplayable. Don't bother. You have to pay to use the card, and when you do pay to use the card, you have to pay 1 more to draw a card. And that's only situational to you having to sing that song. Unless you're able to draft like an entire deck of songs, congratulations. It's just such a bad card. Atlantica. Negative value, no lore, 1 cost to play it, 1 cost to move things in. It's not even high willpower. You get more cost to sing a song. If you have like 3 mob songs in your deck, sure, put it in. It's not good. It's not good at all. Okay, so next we have the Queen. I'll put her at like, maybe like a bottom of B tier is fair. So the Queen is a 4/5. She's very solidly statted, and you're able to draw with her. However, it's very, very rare that you will be in a situation where you would actually exert her to draw a card, because that will open her up to being banished or challenged. In this set, anything that is exerted, you can almost guarantee it will get banished. So, in that situation, it turns to a 5 ink, or 5 ink draw a card, which is not very good. There are situations where you're already controlling the board and you have this, you're able to win more, but win more situations aren't what you're looking for. You would much rather go with anything else. If you have no other 5 costs and you're forced to play this, go for it. It's just not very good. Rafiki, A tier. Like here, yeah, it's fair. The 1 cost, 0/2. You're able to challenge her, +3. Strong card. Trades into a lot. Don't quest with it. Nothing much to say. Really strong, really solid 1 cost. Ursula. I put this at maybe... Ursula is another win more card, where once you put it out, your opponent's not going to want to exert their characters. I'll put it above maybe Mickey Mouse. B tier. Again, not much to say. Jafar 05 Jafar. This is like a top of D tier. It's not very often you're going to have a lot of cards in your hand. In this set, especially with the lack of draws and the fact that you're not playing a constructed deck, right? You're not gonna be able to get a lot of cards in your hands and have it be worth it. Most optimally, at a 4 cost, you would want it to be a 3/5 to make it worth it. When you're going to that 4 cost range, after you ink, you're most likely gonna be at like 3 cards. You know? So even though you could quest for 2, unless you're able to pair this up with things where you're consistently having a lot of cards in your hand, it's not very good. There's much better options in the 4 slot. Bell, 3 mana, 3/3, 3 ink, 3/3, move 1 damage, solid card, A tier. Very, very strong, but not strong enough to where it's game breaking. So, like A tier. Bell Accomplished Mystic, on the other hand, 4/4, quest for 2, move 3 damage. This card is huge. This card can easily win you the game and give you back so much tempo by herself. It's insane, incredible. And she quests for 2 with a solid stat line. She is so strong. Winnie the Pooh. Okay, there's going to be a common theme where you're getting a lot of cards that are 5/5s with 2 lore. These cards are just all A tier. Very strong. Nothing else to talk about. I mean, it's not auto pick in the sense of like you have to see your draft. If you have cards that are 6/7 cost where they're much better in value, you wouldn't put as much of those. But always solid, always nice to see, almost always auto include. Peter Pan Shadow, Rush Evasive 2/3 at a 4 cost, I believe it was. Peter Pan's Shadow. Yes, 4 cost uninkable, 2/3 evasive rush. Your other characters will rush get invasive. This card is bad. It's really bad. I'm gonna put it like the top of D tier. If you have no other ways to counter evasive, maybe you could think about it. But it doesn't take out TikTok. It doesn't take out Dumbo. The most you're gonna get is maybe like a Pegasus, maybe like a Sisu, even like a Tuk Tuk, Dumbo, Tinkerbells. It doesn't even kill Tinkerbell. It's just not a very good card. Big Elsa, unplayed. It's unplayable. It's 8 costs. You're able to exert the 2 cards. and they're not able to ready. On paper, seems like a very good card. However, 8 cost uninkable, it'll jam up your hand. It's really, really not a good card to have. Ursula. 5. You know, actually, I'll put it at like maybe behind Pluto. She's 5 ink, 3/4, and you're able to exert a character when you play her, and then play a song that's equal or less than the exerted character's cost. This card is so swingy. It's able to exert a problem character, and you're able to challenge into it. Or if you have songs that you're wanting to play, you're able to play songs for free. To really make this card worth it, you would have to play a song 100%. And the song would have to be like 2 costs or more to make it really worth it. If you combo this with something like Strength of Raging Fire, you're able to take out 2 high priority targets just instantly like that. Really, really strong card. A little bit situational based on what you draft if you have enough songs, but overall very strong. Dumbo! Dumbo, the money card. Money, money, money. So, Dumbo is a very, very interesting card. First of all, it's really hard to even get it because it's taking a legendary slot. 4 cost 3/3 with evasive. Yeah, I put it in a solid A tier. You're able to consistently refill your hand, which is really strong. If you have a lot of invasives in your deck, this will almost instantly win you the round because of the hand advantage you're able to get. Really strong card. Maybe I'll put it like above Nani. You're never sad to see it. Any card draw is really good. Okay, small Dumbo. B tier. It's not awful. Recost 2/2 is really bad. Having it be evasive adds a little bit to it. Having you be able to make one of your characters evasive also adds to it. Oh, it's also until the start of your next turn, so you're able to protect some other targets, but the stat line is just not desirable. It's maybe a top of B tier, I would say. Behind Pongo. Timothy O'Mouse. Above Dumbo. Nothing crazy. 2 ink, 1/4. You have an invasive, it gains 1 lore. Always nice to get extra lore. Anything you're able to get 2 lore of is really strong. There's quite a bit of evasives this set. Nothing much to say. Elsa! Oh, she's A tier for sure. I'll even put her above this Pluto. You place this on the board, her opponent is so scared to exert anything because she could single-handedly challenge anything. This single card can swing the tempo to your way, where you're able to recover your hand. You're able to have a big threat on the board if they're threatening to challenge, if they're trying to steal some lore, like, yeah, just sneakily get 1 or 2 here. She's really strong. Who's go? Like I said, anything where you're able to get value out of it, anything that's card draw is really strong. Cusco is definitely on the pick. He might be a 1/2, but for you to be able to just challenge into something or even just exert it and your opponent would have to make that trade, you still get 1 point and draw a card, really strong. TikTok. TikTok is top of A tier. This card is really, really strong. 4/7 evasive, you already cannot challenge into it unless your opponent has some sort of evasive. It doesn't die to World's Greatest Criminal Wine. Really, really strong stat line. It's a little bit expensive, but when you get to that point, having a 4/7, you're able to just constantly take 1 point. Really strong. And even if you don't, you trade into something, it has very low chance of actually being banished. It's really strong. In fact, you know, put it at the top of A tier. Dolores. Dolores is an S tier. As I said before, there is not going to be a lot of chances where your opponent will just randomly have an exerted character on the board. However, if they do, you're getting a free draw along with a 3/3 stat line at a 4 cost with 2 lore. The 2 lore is really, really important. That draw is huge. You're basically getting a free draw out of them just trying to get an exert. Really strong card. And even if you know you're at a point where this match that you're playing is just going to be both of you just constantly slamming down characters, Dolores is still going to be ink. You could anchor. That works, right? Okay, moving on. Camilla. It's a really flexible card. 2/5. You can either get one more lore or challenger +2. Strong. Pretty strong. Not much to say about it. You'd probably put down Elsa more than you would put Camillo. But solid stat line, good effect. Yeah. Elsa Snow Queen. Top of B tier. She's not like an auto include because she's still a 2/3, but she can easily swing the game where if your opponent has cards that they don't want to exert. For example, like maybe just randomly like Cusco or something. Or no, not a Cusco, Pluto or something, right? You could just take those high priority targets out. Or if you see like they have a lot of high cost cards on the board and you suspect they're able to sing something big, then just exert it, get rid of it. Strong. A tier. So this genie is pretty expensive to put out. However, anything anything drawing you cards is really, really strong in this meta. So it's gonna be a solid A tier. Actually, it's gonna be on like bottom of A tier. Strong card. Olaf 1/3. Bottom of B tier. 1 cost 1/3. Not much to say. Sven 5/7 for 6. It's gonna be like a low C tier. Very strong stats, high stats, but you're only able to quest for 1. Susceptible to World's Greatest Criminal Mind and Minimels. And at that point of the game, you're looking to have more points than you are looking to have like a solid stat line. It could win you the game, just not very often. Madam Udi. Strong card. Very strong. However, 6 costs, and it's uninkable with a 3/6 stat line. However, if you're able to pull it off, if you're able to get it out, really solid effect, you're able to get 2 points, and you're able to move damage, really strong. Luisa Madrigal. Yeah. So 3 costs or 4 costs. Let me double check this one. So Luisa is gonna be 4 costs. 4 costs, 4/3, uninkable with rush. Not inherently bad. It's just at 4 costs, you're putting this down just to trade into something. On top of that being uninkable, not right. Jafar. 3 costs, 2/2. Plus for 2. When you play it, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 on top, put 1 on the bottom. Really strong to be able to look at 2 cards and pick 1 card. It's like a develop your brain or vision, like a nerf version, but it does quest for 2. So, pretty solid card. If you find yourself in a situation where you need more stats on the board, just think it, Second star on the right. It is such a powerful card. Drawing 5, huge. But you're gonna want to have singers and or a way to stall out the game where you're not just gonna instant lose from having 3 of your characters exerted to sing the song. So if you're able to control the board very well, and or you have some low cost singers that are able to help you get the song out very smoothly, it's really strong. Otherwise, don't put it in your deck. You're gonna be left with a dead card in your hand. 4 Unfortunate Souls. This is like a D tier card. I used to believe that this card was quite good when I first started playing Sealed. However, the more that I play it, the more I realize it's just you lose 1 card tempo just to bounce a 2 cost card that they're just gonna play again next turn. Or even worse, ink and draw down something more. It's just not worth a card slot. You're wasting it's a huge minus. Last ditch effort. Bottom of C. Could be good sometimes, but 4 costs uninkable, way too expensive for the effect. I'm stuck. This card is really interesting. I gotta put it like a top of D tier. Let's put it at bottom of C. I think it's 1 inkable. Exert a character, can't ready. It's It's a win more card. I mean, there's not much to say. It's just not. It's not a powerful enough effect where I would auto include it in every deck. It's just most of the time he's gonna be a -1. Magic Feather. Oh no. Oh no. Magic Feather. Situational. If you don't have a lot in your deck to be able to deal with evases, I would definitely put it in. Otherwise, just don't bother. It's gonna be a negative tempo. You'd rather have something more well statted, or even have stats on your board. Magic Mirror, unplayable. Exert 4-cost draw a card, unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. White Rabbit's Pocket Watch. This is another card that I do not have a lot of experience playing. So let's take a look. 3 costs, already very expensive. Exert, and then 1 more cost, and you're able to give a character Rush. Rush is not super valuable to set, so it's just not very playable. It's not worth the 3 mana, 3 ink you're putting. Rose Lantern. Maybe in like the middle of B tier like this, yeah? I mean, it has a very solid effect. Very solid. Most of the time you're gonna find yourself, it's just gonna be sitting there. Moving 1 damage is really strong, but that's contingent on you having very high willpower cards. I'm gonna put lower. High willpower cards, and you have other ways of maybe healing damage. So if you're really focused on just healing damage and keeping your high willpower cards alive, this could work. It could win you the game sometimes, but it's definitely not like an auto include. Path of Madrigal. Let me just also preface by saying I don't believe almost any of the locations are good. However, the only one location that I believe is good is going to be Hidden Cove. Path of Madrigal is going to get you 1 lore every turn. If you have a character on top, it forces your opponent to attack it. But you would also have to use 2 mana, 2 ink, to get characters on there for the first place. Cusco! Yeah, this card's like an auto pick. It's really strong. 2/4 ward. You can't target it with anything. Quest for 3. So just having a 3 quest card on board, that's a huge threat. And on top of that, anything that challenges it and banishes it also goes away. Really strong. Really strong. Robin Hood, auto pick. 4 lore is huge. On top of that, it's 4/5. Very strong statted. It's really strong for the point where you're gonna get to actually be able to play this card. Really high threat. It could single-handedly win you the game also. Cursed Merfolk. So a lot of the other Seal players that I talk to don't really believe in this card. They say that it's very negative tempo, but the way that I see it, it's a free 2 points. 2 lore is really hard to come by, and to be able to do it for 1 cost is really strong. Say you play this on turn 1 and your opponent just fires the cannon. Sure, they use the fire the cannon on a 0/1. Say they take it out on the first turn. Sure, they get a card, this card. I think it's really strong. You're not going to be sad top decking it because it's still 2 lore. Pretty strong card. Prince Philip. Yeah, it's not very good. I played a match recently where I put it in. It did give my characters ward, but here's the biggest problem. Him himself does not have ward, and he's uninkable. So for 4 cost, 3/4 lore quest for 2, it's just not worth it. You have a lot better to be putting in at that slot. Prince Philip. Yeah, uninkable. Unplayable. 9 costs. Yeah, let's just not even bother with the 9 costs. Goofy. Also unplayable. 2 costs, 2/2. Very badly statted. You're able to move 2 characters to a location. Yeah, it's not worth it. Okay, Max Goof. 3 costs, 2/2. And then you can pay 1 to get a song back from your discard. The song would also have to be less than 4 costs. It's borderline unplayable. There's some situations where it may help you, but unless you have a lot of song in your deck, it's just almost unplayable. Genie. Very strong S tier card. It's not an auto pick. Evasive, and it bumps up your entire board's willpower or strength. Very strong. Quest for 2. Very strong. Yeah, not much to say about it. It's just very strong. S tier, maybe top of A. I'm gonna put more top of A because it's still very easy to die. Max Goof. You know, we put this at the middle of the pack, B tier. Max Goof is really interesting. Really interesting. Because you're able to play a song from your discard again. This can be so strong. If you have cards like Criminal Mastermind, or Raging Fire, or even Mother Comes Home. These cards, just having your Max Goof on the board is already a threat. On top of that, being able to play those cards twice, huge. But situational based on what you draft, right? But it can be very good. And it's not badly statted, so very good. Bobby. I have to put a like a below Stitch in the C tier. It's very badly statted. You're able to cycle one card, but honestly, cycling that one card's not going to do a lot when most of the cards in your deck are going to be pretty good. Megara, bottom of the B tier. Has a pretty strong effect. However, there's a card that just does what she does way better, and that's Mickey Mouse. Like, you can combo her with Minnie Mouse or World's Greatest Criminal Mind, but you can also just do that with support, you know? Like, there's a lot of different ways you could do what she does, but better. In fact, I'm gonna put her at C tier. She's just not very strong, and she has awful stats. Okay. Mickey Mouse. A tier. 3 mana, 3/4. Solid stats. Really strong. You're gonna have a big threat on the board just having him there. Enchantress. B tier. No. Top of C tier. 1/1. Awful stats. But anything that attacks it, it's gonna get traded. So. But the biggest problem with this card, vulnerable to Sisu, vulnerable to Big Tinkerbell. It's not too strong, but it can win you games. Nirvana, just right next to Winnie the Pooh. Same stats, nothing to say. Okay, Donald Duck. When you play an action, he gets +2 attack. Yeah, you're never gonna find yourself. It's just like a bottom D tier. Yeah, you're never gonna find yourself in a situation where this is gonna be worth the stats. Pegasus, very strong B tier. I'm not a big fan of this card because I still think it's a 1/1, and that 1 lore is not going to win you any games, right? However, a lot of people do think this card's very good. If you give it to me, I would put it in like a D tier, or even like a bottom of C, right? But I do have testimonials where sometimes this game can single-handedly win you the game, so top of B tier I think it seems fair. Okay, Donald Duck, A tier. Neutrally drawing is really good, but it's better for you because you're able to play the 2 cards instantly on your turn. So 4 cost 2/5 with questing for 2. Solid stat line. It's nothing to like go tell your parents about, but it's really strong. Quest for 2, really strong. Drawing, even better. Your opponent's not going to want to kill it because they're going to want to draw as well. However, you're going to be able to use your cards first. Really strong card. Hey. Yeah, that's like a bottom of D tier. It could sometimes get you back on a situation where you can not ink for a round, and you could take 1 ink from the top of your deck, but it's just such awful stats. 2/3, quest for 2, not great. Shinny, unplayable. Just don't even bother. This card is just so bad. It needs to be in a location to have any effect. And on top of that, you're just almost never gonna be able to use this card. Tinkerbell, A tier. You're able to give a character of yours evasive. She's evasive herself, and she is able to quest for 2. Really solid card. Really solid. In fact, yeah, she's gonna be like an S tier. She's really strong. John Silver, S tier, easily. This card can disrupt your opponent's board so incredibly hard. It's insane. This card can also single-handedly win you games. No, he's an auto pick. You see him, you're putting him in. Ursula, top of B tier. really solid. There's a lot of songs being played. There's a lot of songs in this set. You're never sad to see this card. If you play it early, nice. You may have a chance of discarding one of their songs. You play it late, nice. They might be holding a big cost song. You don't have anything else? Sure, just ink it. Whatever. Solid card. Wildcat, unplayable. Yeah, this card's just not great. It's just not great. Even with the evasive, it's just really badly statted. This might be controversial, but 2/2 Aladdin, unplayable. It has the same stats as like a 1 cost. Has ward. Great. So what? Daisy Duck, questing, unplayable. This is way worse than the play and discard a card. Mainly because you have to quest this card. So if you quest it, it's gonna get challenged. Even though you're getting 2 ink out of it, or 2 lore out of it, it's just not worth it. Stand out. This is a very situational card. It's a song, so you're able to sing it, and you're able to bump attack, and maybe take out a potential evasive card target they are not able to take out before. However, that's contingent on you having several other cards, which is 1, maybe World's Criminal Mind or Minnie Mouse, so you're able to combo that with them and be able to banish a target, or you have a lot of high willpower cards. So it's very situational. See what you draft. If you draft a lot of high willpower, you could consider it. Otherwise, just don't bother. Sun Chill, unplayable. 2 costs to drop one of your opponent's cards. It's just not a great trade, especially when they get to choose the card. It's just a really bad tempo swing. Improvise is S tier auto pick. This card is so incredibly strong. In fact, it's gonna be like you see it, you pick it. It's just a 1 cost draw 1, so it's gonna replace itself already off the bat. On top of that, you have a potential of being able to get 1+ strength. You're not gonna use the 1+ strength very often, but when you do, it makes huge difference. But anything that's just one cost draw a card, really strong. Undersea. Top of B tier. It's gonna be very often that you're able to sing this card. However, currently, while you're playing sealed, you're gonna pick a lot of cards with very high willpower, and there's not a lot aside from like Lost in the Woods. If you could get these 2 to combo, wow, congratulations! Wow, you're just really good at the game, I guess, or real lucky. Otherwise, most things are gonna be sitting at like 3 strength for the big targets that you want to get rid of. And if it's not a big target, then you're just washing away a bunch of 1 or 2 costs. Even then, 2 costs might not even get washed. It's not great value. If you're playing against somebody who has a lot of 1/4s and 2/5s, then it'll be huge for you. But otherwise, not great value. Make the Potion. Top of C tier. It's a great effect, right? You could banish really strong items like Medallion, or like Lantern, or Rose Lantern. However, it's uninkable. The uninkable part just absolutely kills this card. Otherwise, it could be very strong. Mother Knows Best. B tier. It's a strong card. Assuming you're gonna... The only way you could make this card worth it, because it is uninkable, is if you have a 2-cost singer that can play it out for free, along with stuff like Max Goof where you can recycle it. Disrupting a high-cost card, say they drop like a 5-cost and then you bounce it back to your hand, it's a really strong tempo swing. But even then, it's still, you're just throwing out 1 card to be able to do that. It's really good if you're able to cheat it out with mana costs, or ink costs, or if you're able to recycle a Max Goof. Otherwise, a lot of times you're going to be holding on to this card for a long time, looking for an opportunity to play it. Family Fishing Pole, unplayable. I don't think I need to even explain this. It's just such an awful card. Sign Contract, also unplayable. Hidden Cove. Yeah, I think it's fair. Put it in the middle of A tier. I'm not somebody who thinks location is remotely even worth it. However, Hidden Cove can be used as a tool to just drop your opponent's board so quickly. They just never see it coming. It's also 6 willpower, so it does take a lot to take it out. It's really strong for that reason. It's not going to be an S tier card, because I still believe that it's pretty bad tempo. However, it is really strong. LeFou! S tier. It's not an auto pack, but LeFou is really strong. There's several reasons that LeFou is really strong. One of them being that if you challenge something, you can ready it up, they can challenge something again. Really strong effect. But even better than that, you have cards like Simba, which quests for 3, Nala, that quests for 3, or Robin Hood, or Mufasa, quests for 4. LeFou, you can basically quest them, get that 4 points, ready them back up so they won't get banished, and then quest them again. That's a really strong effect. LeFou is super flexible in being used, so he's easy S tier. In fact, I put him above Dolores. He's really, really strong. The Queen, I have to put her bottom. Shere Khan, middle B tier. Solid card, solid stat line. When you challenge, you gain a lore. I think it's really strong for late game where you're looking for like maybe 1 or 2 more lore, even 3 or 4, but otherwise it's usually somewhat dead. Simba! I love this card. I'm very biased towards this card. I think he's like a top of B tier. He's not strong enough where you would auto-include him, mainly because he's unlinkable, but that 3 cost, the 3 lore, oh man, that could win you games. I've never ever seen this card in any of my sealed, so I can't comment too much on how strong this card is. However, I think having an 8/8 stat line is kind of huge. Maybe like a top of C. Yeah, nothing too crazy. If it quests for 2, I'd put it at like an A tier, but it's like a middle C. Maybe I'll put it less than Rapunzel. Yeah. Ariel, yeah, it's like a C tier card. It's evasive, and when you sing a song, you can make something evasive. However, she's a 4 cost, and she's 2/3. Very badly statted. She doesn't even quest for 2. You're never gonna be able to use her secondary effect. She's just not worth it. Maleficent, unplayable. 9 costs. You're never gonna get to 9 costs to even be able to play this card, and even then, you're banishing just 1 target. It's not worth it. Caroline, Singer, he's an A tier. He's really, really strong. 3/2 stat line is already really strong. You're able to trade into those 1/3/1 costs, or even just barely like a 1/4. On top of that, him having Singer 4 is really, really good. Power line. Yeah, he's like a top of T tier. Even when you shift up to get to him, he's just the 4 cost, 6/4. He's very vulnerable. And if you use him to sing, most of the time, you're not going to have enough songs in your deck where you're going to be able to play something else. And even if you do, it might not be something that you would want to play in that moment. So unless you're putting in a lot of like Eye to Eyes or Pirate Slice or something similar to that, it's just not going to be very worth it. Mickey Mouse, situational. This card is hilarious. If you have a lot of like low cost Mickey Mouse, you're able to shift up, or just regular 3/3/3 Mickey Mouse, 3/3/2 Mickey Mouse. Really strong. You shift this out, this can single-handedly win you the game. But that's only situational based on the fact that you're able to get Mickey Mouse. Max Goof, yeah, he's like a bottom A tier. 4/3 powerful stat line, Singer 5, crazy. You're able to sing 4 call songs. Can't move to location, we don't care about that. Roxanne, maybe like a B tier. Bottom, maybe the middle B tier. Strong stat line, 2/3, very fair. Potentially getting 1 more strength and 1 more lore. Yeah, that's very good. But yeah, it's not gonna be very worth it for you. PJ Pete. Yeah, he's a A tier. He's really strong. He is a 3/5, which when you look at it compared to like a 3/4 for 1 more cost, you might think, oh, that's not that strong. But a 3/5 is surprisingly hard to take out. On top of that, if you play a song and you're able to get that +2, now he's worth like a 5/5. That's huge. And he's very hard to take out. He's really strong. He's almost like an auto-include. But for my purposes, he's a solid A tier. Yeah, Gaston's like a D tier. Yeah, he's a 4/2 reckless. Not a very powerful stat line. He could get taken out by just somebody exerting a flounder on round 1. Okay, evasive Moana. Yeah, that's an A tier. Cheap, evasive, 4 cost 3/4. Strong stat line with evasive, even stronger. Nothing much to say. 3 cost 4/3. power line with the potential rush. You're almost never going to be able to use this rush effect. But as a 4-3, if you don't have much other choice, you could put him in. He's good for that reason. Sisu! Strong card. Very strong card. A tier. Oftentimes it's going to be like a 2-4. However, it does quest for 2. And it's 4 willpower. Pretty strong card. Other Sisu. Yeah, I'm going to have to put her at like a D tier. A lot of people believe she's really good. I just don't ever find a use for her. And when she's in your hand and you're getting to the point where your opponent's just dropping 5/5s all over the board, or even just 3/4s, it just feels really bad for her to be uninkable. You know, I'll put her at the bottom of 3. I'll give her some credit. She can perform sometimes. At least we'll put her above Enchantress. Oh my god. Queen of Hearts. 4-3, shift 2. When you challenge, you're able to draw a card. This is an auto pack. In fact, she goes above improvise. This card is ridiculously strong. This card single-handedly makes your opponent not want to exert anything. And if they do, you just draw cards that's so threatening to have this on board. It could single-handedly turn a game in your favor just from your opponent getting greedy, getting 1 or 2 more costs. It's ridiculously strong. Lumiere. Yeah, really solid card. Your whole board gets +1 will strength. Oftentimes what you're gonna be doing with this card is maybe using it to evade under the sea if you have a lot of like low strength cards. Or if your opponent quests, you're able to drop this down, surprise them with the extra 1 attack and make favorable trades. Solid card. Card Soldier. 5/5/5. It's gonna be below these two because Winnie the Pooh has a hero tag and Nirvana has a villain tag, so, and a queen tag, so they are better than him. Yeah. Queen of Hearts Rush. A tier. Top of B tier. You could use this to shift into the other Queen of Hearts. It's really strong. I'll put it at the bottom of A actually. The strongest part of this card is if your opponent puts down like an Aurora turn 1, and you also drop like a 1/3 on turn 1. You're able to surprise them and take out a 1 cost without them expecting you to. So if say they have a Rafiki and you miss the 1 cost slot, you're able to just take out that Rafiki for free. It's a really strong thing to have just like a cheap rush option, right? Catch your opponent off guard. Yeah, this card's unplayable. 6 cost, 5/4, quest for 2. When you play it, your opponent loses 1 lore. Yeah, it's just unplayable. Bad stats for 6 cost, and it's uninkable. Makes it worse. Mulan. Top of B tier. Solid 1 cost. It's a 2/1, which you would think it's really bad, but there's a lot of healing this set. Along with that, it could shift up to Big Mulan. That by itself is really strong. And hey, 2/1, nothing to scoff at. You need 1 cost for sure. Okay, Big Mulan. Auto pick. Super auto pick. This card can also swing things in your favor. If you are able to shift this, you're clearing an entire board with that 1 shift up move. Huge tempo swing. Very, very, very strong card. Raya. This is personal opinion. She's an auto pick for me, but maybe on the bottom auto pick. Raya is able to generate you so much tempo, especially if you pair it with Beast or Hidden Cove or anything that gives you more willpower or more strength, or even just having like secret healing in your hand. All of a sudden you're able to clear entire boards with this card. This card just being on the board is a huge threat on her own. This is an auto pick for me, but this is also like a very personal pick for my playstyle. Sergeant, Tibbs. Yeah, where's Flounder? Where's my other 1 cost twos? Yeah, not much to say. He's just a 1 cost. Yeah, I like a top of C tier. I much prefer 1/3s. Where did I put the queen? The queen 1 cost. I have placed her here. Yeah, she's above him because she can be cheated out with a board. Tough. Yeah, D tier. You're not gonna be able to use this effect very often, but he is an evasive. Bottom C. He is evasive after all, which is still worse, I think. Eye to eye. Very, very situational. The most situational part of this is really seeing how much draws you have and if you have singers. If you don't have draws, but you do have singers, put it in. If you don't, just leave it out. You can fly. Yeah, it's unplayable. It's just very negative tempo. Yeah, you get evasive for 1 turn, but you're doing that at the cost of 2 costs. And like it's just not very good. Pirate's Life. Yeah, this card's an A tier. Or top of B tier. Strong. Very, very strong. It's a 4 lore value. It can catch your opponent off guard. If you can sing it even better. Really, really strong card. Saves you sometimes. B King in Disputed, bottom of A. This card can take out big targets and can also swing the game in your favor. However, the Uninkable does knock it down a couple ranks. Medallion Weights. Holy moly, this card this card is actually even stronger than Queen of Hearts. This card is ridiculous. This card is definitely the strongest card for sealed in set 9. And you can quote me on that. This card is so ridiculously strong that just by having it can change the flow of the entire game. This card comboed with a lot of like 1/4s or 1/3s makes it even better. Dinner Bell's unplayable. Yeah, just don't even think about it. You're never gonna get value out of this card. Agrabah. I put it at the bottom of C. This is a card a lot of people swear by. They say that it generates a lot of lore. But the way I see it, it's just like a 3 cost. At most, you're getting like 2 lore out of it. Maybe 4. But you're wasting a turn to put out a location, where that location could actually just be a 3/4 instead. If you get it late game, even worse. You just never feel good about having it. I'm not gonna say Anna is bad, but I'm also not gonna say Anna is good. I think it's really situational. If you have a lot of hero characters in your deck and you're able to keep tempo by having a lot of characters on board, this card can potentially just have you OTK, but very situational. You're gonna have to look at what you draft. If you have a lot of heroes, go for it. If not, whatever. All 3 of these Duck Brothers, yeah, they're just S tier. S tier, S tier, S tier. One of these Duck Brothers, Louis, auto pick. 3/4 support with 2 lore is no joke. This is so strong. The other 2 might not be as strong as Louis, but they're still very much S tier. Any support is really strong. Alice is unplayable. Yeah, just don't even think about it. It's just, don't think like, oh, Under the Sea combo, you're not gonna get it off. It's just bad tempo. Mulan situational. You have a lot of princesses, go for it. If not, don't. Rel, also unplayable. It's also very negative tempo. 3 cost 2/3. You're not gonna be able to get that effect off very often. And she's uninkable. Right next to Robin Hood, auto include Mufasa. They do basically the same thing. They're both just very, very high lore targets that you're really happy to see in the late game. A tier. In fact, you're better than Mickey Mouse. Cruella is evasive on your turn. 3/2, really strong. You can trade into a lot of evasive characters. Having it on board makes your opponent scared to quest Pegasus. It's really good. Just really good. Really nice. Also A tier, Anna. Potential 1/4, 2 lore. Really strong. Just the 1/4 by itself is really strong. But the fact that she can almost be 2 lore, very, very strong card. Flounder, where's Sergeant Tips? Yeah, you go above Sergeant Tips because you're cute, but they're essentially the same card. Hans, top of A tier. Sometimes it below Under the Sea, top of Under the Sea, yeah. Sometimes it could win you the game just by randomly getting 1 more lore, and he quests for 2. Very, very strong card. You're often going to pick him, but not every time. Sometimes you would much rather have like Mickey Mouse on board, you know, something with better stat line. Yeah, this situational. No, it's unplayable. Yeah, situational. I would say this is situational off of the fact that you have a lot of cards that can pump your strength. Otherwise, just don't even bother. You're not gonna get value out of this. You're gonna quest it once, and then she's gonna die. Grandpappy, unplayable. There's niche situations where you're like, oh, okay, I have a lot of healing. Maybe this could work. Don't do it. It's a trap. And he's a 7 cost uninkable. That's really expensive. Hades. I'm gonna have to put him at like the bottom of C tier. 7 cost uninkable is really, really hard to use. And even then, you're just getting rid of one character. I mean, it's strong. I just would not put it in because 7 cost uninkable is really, really bad. Meta Modi is unplayable. I don't think I have to explain this. Aurora. Aurora goes on top of A tier. Yeah. Giving ward to your entire board protects it a lot. More than anything, there's this really strong combo where you could just turn 1 Aurora, turn 2 Shift Aurora. Holy moly, you basically won the game at that point. 3-5 stat line, super solid. Gives ward to your entire board, also super solid. Plus for 2, even better. 1-3 Aurora. Yeah, that's unplayable to me. Like, I think anything that's ward is just not strong enough. If she's a 2-3, she's gonna be almost S tier, super strong. But at this moment, she's unplayable. 1 cost Jasmine. I'm gonna put her at D tier. She's not completely unplayable, but you're not gonna be happy to see her. If you don't have any other 1 cost choice, okay. Belle's unplayable. 2-3, 2 quests for 2, sure. But she's just not gonna be very worth it most of the time. Judy Hobbs, also unplayable. Also bad stats. There's better options. There's way better options if you need to get rid of items. Maid Marian. Top of B tier. She's very solid. She can win you, get you tempo swings. And she quests for 2. Solid 4-4 stat line. She's not like super good. I would still much prefer having Winnie the Poohs and card soldiers, etc. But very, very solid pick. Winnie the Pooh. Unplayable. I'm not gonna hear it. Alice. Middle of A tier. Really strong card. Having this on the board can easily just randomly get you to 20 points. This is really strong. Along with giving your... Actually, you know what? This goes in S tier. This card can swing the game so hard in your favor just by giving everybody support. Yeah, this goes on top of 8. Maybe bottom. Middle of this too. Okay. 2-2 quest for 2 Aurora. Yeah, that's unplayable. Yeah, I'm not gonna hear it. If you don't have a lot of 2 costs, go for it. Robin Hood on your turn gets evasive. Middle of B tier. Solid effect, draw 1. Her bad stat line. You're not very often gonna use its trade in evasive. You're not gonna be sad to see it. You're not gonna be happy to see it. Develop your brain. Bottom top of C tier. Like it's in your opinion, you're getting 1 card out of it. However, it's just not very good tempo most of the time. You need every ink you can get. You need to get advantage out of every single piece of ink you can find. I think C tier might be a little too harsh. Maybe bottom is B tier. It's more fair. 4 dozen eggs. I don't want to hear the arguments. It's unplayable. It's such bad value. When you're trading, you're going to be having to hold on to this card for a long time. 1 jump ahead. I think it's also unplayable. It's not worth it. Dig a little deeper is really situational. If you have a lot of singers, go for it. Could be huge value, but it's uninkable. I don't think I have to explain this. It's just not very good. I don't think I have to explain this either. Actually, I do. Okay, so Heart of Tafiti. Yes, you can ramp ink, but it's at the cost of 2 ink every turn, which means you're gonna have to go like maybe 4 or 5 ink in for it to be worth it. It's just not very strong. Coconut Basket. It's like a top of C tier. Solid card. It's not bad. Not very good. Mohue. Wait. I'm sorry. What's your name? It's better than Casa Magrigo. It could get you a lot of value. Seems fair. Seems fair to put it here. Bill. He's very badly statted. But if you have Anna, and you have a lot of heroes, he could be huge. Yeah, I think it's a fair spot to put him, but he's very badly set. Unplayable. Yeah, don't even think about it. Don't try to cheat out things. This is not going to survive the turn. Even if you do, you're going to get one character out for the risk of wasting 4 ink, right? It's 4 ink uninkable. It's unplayable. Just don't even bother. Nala, S tier. So strong. It can't be traded by 1 cost. Even at a 2 cost, you need a 3 willpower or 3 strength to be able to kill it. Really strong. Cheat out 3 lore. It's even better than Simba. Really strong. Lilo. Yeah, it's really awkward, but Lilo is like a C tier. She's not very good. She's just not very good. Your hope we're getting Challenger +2, it matters less than you would think. And you're never gonna get that second effect off. R. Middle of B tier. Having everybody get 1 more strength is really strong. You're not going to be able to use that second effect often. The only part that makes him not great is that he's uninkable. And you're not very often going to be able to draw enough to make it worth having him be vulnerable. Yeah. Little John! Little John is going to be a surprise S tier. Like, Little John is surprisingly... Nah, he doesn't deserve S tier. He deserves A tier though. You're gonna be able to like randomly kill a lot of things that you would not expect. There's surprising amounts of villain characters, and even if not, if you could pair it up with hero characters, giving that resist +2, it's pretty strong. You're never sad to see this card. The biggest temple swings is if your opponent puts down like a Queen of Hearts or a Queen, and you just get rid of it for free, and you still have a 2/2 on board. Solid, super solid. Really stronger. Robin Hood. So it's a 3/6. Whenever it vanishes a character, you get 2 lore, and when it goes away, you draw a card. Solid card. Solid stats. Really strong card. Jasmine. Holy moly, Jasmine is S tier. You're gonna be able to trade into so many things with this Jasmine. The threat of just having this Jasmine on board is immense. Your opponent's gonna have so much pressure from just seeing this Jasmine on your board. Mulan, I think the supports can go to the bottom, actually. Yeah. Jasmine, these are auto picks. Jasmine is an auto pick. Tiana, where is my Olaf? She goes above Olaf. Because she is a hero and a princess. Okay. S tier. This is the other card I was talking about. It's a 3 cost 2/3 that quests for 2. But when you play it, banishes characters. Banishes an item. This is going to be your go-to item banisher card. The most important part is once you drop it down, it could still quest for 2. So it's super strong. With how strong Medallion Weights is, you need to include this card. If your opponent has Medallion Weights, even if they don't, right? It's still a quest for 2. You're not going to feel bad about that. However, if they do have Medallion Weights, you dropping this card disrupts their play pattern so hard that basically at this point, you have such huge advantage over your opponent. Very strong. Jafar, where's Cruella? Where's Cruella? Yeah, you guys are both like here. You get a little bit more because you have a sorcerer tag, but you guys do the same thing. Prince Naveen. Yeah, he's like a D tier to me. I'm not gonna lie, I never feel good seeing Prince Naveen. A 4/3 is just really vulnerable. The only reason he is worse than Max Goof is because Max Goof has Singer. That's the biggest differentiation between the 2 cards. That Singer tag actually helps a lot, but a 4/3 stat line it's very weak. Eeyore's like a top of B tier. Really strong, hard to get rid of, super annoying. Robin Hood. He's like a C tier for me. Sometimes you can get good value out of him, but oftentimes you're just gonna be really sad seeing a 2 uninkable. Mickey Mouse, B tier, bottom B tier. Strong card, better than Megara, but you're oftentimes holding onto it for too long, or you're just gonna ink it. Hercules! A tier. Even S tier, actually. Bodyguard, 6'5", resist +1. Huge. So huge. No, he doesn't deserve S tier. He gets top of A. Top of A. Yeah. Really strong card. Genie needs to move down a little bit. Donald Duck needs to move up a little bit. Yeah. Lawrence. Yeah, they can go top of B tier. I think this is fair. Fair place to put him. Tinkerbell! We've been waiting to talk about this. So Tinkerbell is going to be one of your strongest cards. I would put it above Queen of Hearts, below Medallion Wings. This card can single-handedly win you the game. The most insane part of this card is if you have other Tinkerbells in your deck. Then you shift up. Nobody sees it coming, really strong, could easily wipe boards, wipes out a lot of one cost. If you have two of these, your deck is solid. This card is so incredibly strong. You can clear so much with this. It's way stronger than Mulan because it has more strength, and on top of that, you are able to like surprise your opponent with it. I mean, you could do that as well, but having that one cost AoE is really, really strong. Okay, the 3-cost Tinkerbell. The only reason I would put this in, one, I'm never going to use that effect. I'm never going to use that effect. The only reason I will put this in is if I want shift targets for my big Tinkerbell. That's the only reason. Captain Hook, situational. The only way I would see any play out of this card is if you have like 3 Fire the Cannons in your deck. Even then, that's pretty bad. Hercules, yeah, it's a top, maybe like a low S tier. I mean, it's a 3/3/3 bodyguard. Nothing to complain about. Could win you the game sometimes if you have like Simba and Nala. John Silver, that's like, it's a C tier. You're not gonna be able to use that effect. You're never gonna be able to use that effect. Okay, Li Shang. Li Shang, where is Winnie the Pooh? You're gonna comfortably go right next to Winnie the Pooh. Yep. Not much to say. 5/5/5. Prince Eric, Challenger +2, 1/3. Really solid. Where'd he go? Oh, right. He is going to be above Mulan. He's gonna be a solid top tier. Yeah. He's gonna go here, actually. He's gonna be an A tier. He's really, really solid. You can trade into a lot with him. Look at him as a 3/3. Really, really solid card. Ariel Sonic Warrior. Situational. Very, very situational. Could give you a lot of value, but you would need to have at least 4 or 5 songs. But if you do, this card can easily be an S tier. They go hand in hand. The only reason you would use this Ariel is to shift up. That's the only reason. You're never going to use her effect. One last home. Auto pick. This card is incredibly, incredibly strong. To be able to challenge ready characters, this card, if you could pair it with Mulan, it's like a S tier. But even without it, having resist +2 on your character for 2 turns until your turn, and being able to challenge ready characters, this card paired with Raya once also again could just win the game for you. This with Raya, along with just like a willpower boost, holy moly, this will just win you the game right off the bat. Smash is like a B tier. It's good, it's solid, you know what it does. It's nothing to be like, nothing to go home about. Yeah, we find out Platinum, it's awful. It's really bad. Just don't even bother. Let's go with this card as well. Giving resist +1. It's not gonna do anything. Beast Mirror. I'm not gonna put it unplayable. It's gonna go like a D tier, like a bottom of D tier. This is also gonna go to bottom of D tier. You know what? Cruella can also go to D tier. Let me look at some of these cards. Moana can go D tier as well. Fire the Cannon. A tier. S tier. Getting rid of Bluto or Aurora is so strong, so important, so impactful. Really, really strong. Targeted damage is really strong, but Fire the Cannon is even more so because it's 1 cost. Raging Fire, auto pick. You don't even have to think about it. This card is really, really, really strong. This card can swing tempo your way really strong, especially because both of you are going to have a lot of cards just laying around. Mob Song is going to be an S tier card. This card easily flips games in your favor. You're going to be surprised with how easy you'll be able to set up games to play Mob Song if you know that it's in your deck. I know I've said before that some cards are hard to play unless you have Singer. Mob Song is the one exception, because once you exert those characters, they're not going to be super vulnerable due to you actually just being able to clear out 3 characters potentially. So yeah, here we go. This is going to be my finished tier list. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit here. On our auto pick, Medallion Weight, Tinkerbell, Queen of Hearts, Improvise, Aurora, Belle, Milan, World's Greatest Mind, Be Our Guest. Sorry, I'm going to put Cusco back at S. I don't think he's an auto pick, but he is very, very strong. Yep, everything else looks right. Let me give you guys a slow roll down. Take a look. And just some basic, very, very basic sealed strategies that I would like to share. So from my experience, I've played so many tournaments of sealed in Hong Kong now. I believe you should keep your uninkable somewhere between the ratio of 4 to maybe 2. Maybe 2 to 4. At most 6. So let's say like a range of 2 to 6. Anything more than that, you're going to be very, very upset. Even 6 is very, very dangerous. I think at average, you should keep it to 4. And then you can just look at your tier list, this tier list, and go based on what you see. Aside from that, you're going to really want to focus on 3 costs and 4 costs. That's going to be your bread and butter. So if you ask me what kind of ratio you should go for, I would say maybe like a minimum of 4 characters that are 1 cost, around 8 characters that are 2 costs. You want around 12 characters that are 3 costs, maybe 10 characters that are 4 costs, 5 cost characters, 3 6 cost characters. Anything above that, it's up to you. So yeah, hey, thank you guys for watching. This is gonna be my tier list that I made for set 9 sealed. Oh wow, this was really long, an hour and a half. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Remember to subscribe and follow if you want to see way more Lorcana content. I'm gonna try to do a lot of fun, maybe deck building videos. I make a lot of weird and strange decks. We could do a lot of theory crafting. Yeah, just let me know more in the comments below if you have any opinions on things that you think should be moved to a different tier, or things that you think are way stronger or way weaker. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.